wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, we are back with another downfall video, and it is on Morphe Cosmetics. If you want to hear about their rise and where they are now, then let's go. So you're here, you're on YouTube, you're in the social media world, so I'm assuming you have probably heard of Morphe Cosmetics. They are a very popular social media brand, and by social media brand, I mean there are some brands out there, they're usually, you know, like indie brands, stuff like that, that their recognition mainly comes from social media, because as opposed to other brands, these brands usually don't have stores that you can physically visit in real life. They usually don't do like commercials, billboards, that type of marketing for their brands. So for people who are not in the social media world, who don't keep up with stuff like that, they don't really have access to these brands. You know, they don't know who Lethal Cosmetics is. If you go out into the world, you go out and you ask someone, Morphe Cosmetics? They're gonna look at you like, are you sneezing or something? What do you mean Morphe Cosmetics? I know Lancome, I know Maybelline, you know, those legacy brands, stuff like that. They know those, Clinique, they know that, but you say Morphe and they're like. However, Morphe did use that popularity to create physical stores that you can shop in. I know here in America, I feel like they did internationally as well, or maybe those were just pop-up stores, but they do have physical stores in some places where you can shop, but a majority of their popularity comes from, you know, their online presence. They've done several influencer collabs. That is another place where a majority of their popularity comes from. If you've been in the beauty online space for years, and you know there was a time where like all of the mega influencers, that's how it's categorized, you know, they've got nano influencers, they've got micro influencers, and they've got mega influencers, or macro, another term that they use for them. Macro, mega, big influencers had a Morphe code, right? Use code so-and-so at Morphe checkout for 15% off, but as much as they've been pushing, I think I would remember how much of a discount you get, but I think it's 15% off when you use their codes. They were just using Morphe products everywhere that you turned around, right? Their eyeshadows, their brushes, stuff like that. It was just all being pushed into your face. I do know like working makeup artists also like using Morphe stuff. So that it was just like everywhere that you turned, everywhere that you looked online. And as quickly as everyone just got used to the fact that Morphe was a brand that's just gonna be around, it's gonna be in your face, it's gonna be heavily pushed, people quickly got over the brand, right? There were some people who were never here for it to begin with. One of the reasons is because it was, you know, speculated, like people were saying, of course I can't think of the word now, what's that called? When basically, you know, when you're starting out your own brand, of course, there are brands who, you know, they sit down, they create the color stories, they create the formulas that they want for stuff like this and stuff like that. That is great if you can do that, right? But another tactic of starting your own brand, stuff like that, is that there are products that are already made. So they send you the samples and, you know, they show you this green, blue, and orange eyeshadow palette. You look at it, you figure out if you like the formula or not, and then if you want, you can throw your packaging on there. Sometimes companies don't even do that, but you can throw your own type of packaging on there, you know, bundle it up and sell it and call it a day, right? Of course, I can't think of the word now. I'm gonna think of it when I'm editing the video. But a lot of people don't like brands like that for some reason, because, you know, it's like, oh, you're not putting in the effort, or oh, those products are considered like cheaply made, stuff like that, you know, probably not made in the best ways or with the best ingredients. People just, you know, they've got their different feelings on brands that do stuff like that. And another reason is because a lot of the times when brands do that, they'll sell those products for like 5 times how much it costs to make and stuff like that, and then people feel like you're paying for, you know, whatever packaging they throw on it, you're paying for the name of the brand, stuff like that, which a lot of business works out. But that's not the point of this video, right? That's just another reason that people were not really here for Morphe out of the gate. Another reason people were not really here for Morphe out of the gate is how heavily the brand relied on influencers, right? Influencers are pushing this 350 palette in your face,
every video, and with the affiliation, with having a code that you can use at checkout that will get the influencer money back for pushing it, people felt like the only reason you're pushing it is because you are going to make money off me buying it, which again is so you take in that people are already questioning the quality of the product, plus they're questioning the biggest advertisers that you've got for these products. A lot of people weren't here for it, but still these main top influencers are talking about it, raving about it all the time. So the company was still put on, right? They were still popular. They were still selling out of stuff. People still wanted to get their hands on this stuff. But if you've paid attention, you've noticed that there's been less and less talk of Morphe in recent years. Less talk of their products, less talk of, you know, this code and that code. Influencers are deactivating their codes, or the codes are being deactivated for them. And it's like, why is that? Why have we gotten to a point where not even just consumers are washing their hands of Morphe, but even influencers are stepping away from the brand? Like, the same people who put this brand on are now walking away from it. It's like, why? Morphe's biggest problem is also Morphe's biggest asset, and that is influencers. There is a reason that across industries you see all these companies using influencer marketing, you know, entertainment, travel, fashion, beauty. They're all using it because if you do it correctly, it brings you a return, right? So on the one side, influencers helped Morphe because they're always talking about it. These are people who have millions of followers, so they're keeping your products in the known. They're doing collabs, so people are going to want to buy your product because they want to support this person. Those are all the ways that it helps Morphe, right? But on the other side, I feel like a majority of these scandals that Morphe has had are from association with influencers as opposed to scandals over their products, right? Because for the most part, Morphe has products that are in the same category of quality with several other brands out there, and they don't have any issues. Like, those other brands that have the same type of quality that Morphe has, they don't really have any issues about people, you know, calling out their products and stuff like that. And honestly, like, besides that, like 60 foundations that Morphe had, you know, maybe there's been like complaints about their eyeshadows and stuff like that. You really don't hear that many complaints as far as like the quality of their stuff goes, right? People either like, you know, I like the quality, it's good enough quality for me, or I don't want to mess with Morphe at all. So a lot of their scandals have been because, you know, they've partnered with this person is an affiliate of Morphe, and that boils down to faulting Morphe on how they use influencer marketing and the influencers that they choose to use. Because Sallie Mae is right there, right? Sallie Mae has 2 million followers. She creates her content, she posts it, people love it, they swarm in, right? Like, what is Sallie Mae gonna post today? They know that she posts 3 times a week. She can post a sponsored video picture and she's gonna bring you in sales. And then after all of that is done, you know, she turns off her phone, she lives her life. You never hear anything about Sallie Mae. This is Sallie Mae is made up, before anyone starts asking, who is the Sallie Mae that she's talking about? I'm talking about a made up influencer, right? She might vlog as well. They tune in, they want to keep up with the life that Sallie Mae is living because she lives a normal life. You know, she walks her dog, goes to the beach. If you've been following for years, maybe later on she even has kids. You want to see what the kids are like. You know, you're watching her, making her nursery. You never hear anything about Sallie Mae. She does her job. She does it well. And that's it, right? That's the influencer that you want to use. That's not the influencer that Morphe wants to use, because there are plenty of Sallie Mae's out there, but that is not who they are holding their grip onto as far as influencers that Morphe use. Now, Morphe wants to use the influencers where it's like, if they're not in a scandal, then they're not happy. That's what you gotta ask at some point. You have to ask, for some influencers who are always in the same issues, the same problems, like, you like this at this point. And I'm gonna tell you, some of them really do. Some of them really do, because they've got that idea of the whole, you know, no publicity is bad publicity type thing. And because no one is ever canceled, I mean, it's kind of true, right? You can do as much, say as much that is controversial, problematic, all that stuff. You're gonna get some heat for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and then everyone just kind of goes over it. And then 6 months later, you gotta do it again so you can stay in the know, so you can stay in the conversation. Because Sallie Mae actually has like content to offer, right? Sallie Mae can stand firm on her content. That is what is going to keep people interested. Some of the people that Morphe continues to choose to work with can't. And I mean, not to be mean, but let's be honest. Go look. They don't even post the same type of content anymore. They don't post makeup tutorials. They're not posting stuff like that because some have gotten into this weird space where like there's influencer and then there's celebrity. Some influencers have crossed over into celebrity, okay? But there are some who are stuck in like this weird space right here where it's like you're more known than influencer, but you're not celebrity. So you're in this space right here. And for some of those people stuck in those places, it's kind of like my content isn't what's going to keep me afloat, right? The makeup tutorials I was doing before, that's not what people are going to care about for me anymore because I've advanced a little more than influencer to like celebrity status, even though I'm not really there yet. So now it's me that has to keep me afloat, right? It's my life, what people see about me, what people hear about me that has to keep me afloat. And even then, there are some influencers, celebrities, or whoever in that crossover phase where, yeah, their life can keep them afloat. What people are seeing, what people are hearing about them is good enough. Again, where they can just live their lives, you don't hear anything about them. But for some, they can't. So you always have to hear about a scandal. You know, they're purposely offending people, purposely saying, doing, recording themselves, being offensive, saying things to people that are going to keep them in the know. And again, that is a lot of the people that Morphe chooses to work with. And in recent years, these people are having very serious scandals, okay? Not just friends falling out, not just, you know, a collab launch going bad. I'm talking like the type of scandals where people are talking about law enforcement getting involved and, you know, very serious accusations. I don't need to get into all that, but the type of scandals, whereas like you can't even use the word scandal because scandal makes it sound like it's high school, right? Very serious problems that these influencers are getting into. And now Morphe is in a position where it's like, okay, and it's like some of the top, you know, earners for Morphe, some of the top, you know, people who are bringing in views and stuff like that to Morphe's products. And now Morphe's in a position where it's like, okay, yeah, this person like is a really big asset for us. You know, we've got collabs with these people. We've got, you know, these people are selling their products on our website. So we've got that type of strong association with them. But we've also got an association with someone who people are saying, you know, like call the police on this person. Who people are saying, you know, like this person should be in jail or this person, you know, needs this, that, and the third. So it's like, do you want that connection with these people? And if you've noticed in the last year, Morphe has been severing ties with a lot of these people. They're taking these people's brands off their website. They are removing the collabs that they have with these people. They are deactivating these people's social media codes. You can't use, you know, code whatever at checkout for 15% off and stuff like that. That hurts Morphe. Again, because, you know, these people's fans, they're still, no one gets canceled. So these people's fans are like, oh, you know, you're just following what the crowd says. I don't want to shop with you anymore, right? So now they're losing the crowd who is, you know, standing with the influencers, so they want to keep using them. However, they're also losing the crowd who doesn't want to associate with them because they're still associating with those people. And even after they wash their hands of the association, some people still don't even want to mess with Morphe because they had the association to begin with. They're also losing money because it costs to have to, you know, put all this stuff on sale so you can quickly get rid of it, so you can get it off your site, right? They probably have contracts with these influencers where they will probably be breaching by, or however, the only way to get like around that and stuff like that is that a lot of companies usually have, you know, a clause in their contract where you can't put them in a position where they'll have, you know, bad press and stuff like that, or you can't put them in this type of situation that looks bad for them. And if you do, then they can, you know, cut ties with you. But probably still losing money on that as well. Losing money by having brands that they can't sell through Morphe anymore. So they're losing money in those ways. And of course, that is all hurting Morphe. However, again, by having the association, there are other influencers who are like, I don't want to associate with you because you associate with these people. So they're deactivating their codes. They are not showing Morphe anymore, right? I'm not going to use Morphe products until you stop associating with this person. So it's like they're losing on both sides because of both sides, right? Because of their biggest asset and their biggest problem, they're losing like all around with this. Again, because you didn't do influencer marketing correctly. And the thing is, they didn't have to wait till it got this bad. Like, a lot of the people they're cutting ties with now have always shown these signs that this may not be the person that you want to associate with. They've always had these little, you know, like mini scandals, friends falling out, backstabbing, social climbing, all these little seeds that were planted along the way to show you that like maybe this is not what you want to do. Like, a lot of these other brands, it took like one little mishap, one little slip up, and it was like, nah, you're done. We don't need this association. You know, take this check, but this is your last check, right? We don't want to associate with this person in our brand. Why? Because there are so many other influencers out here. There are so many other options. And Morphe was like, no, we're going to hold on to this one batch strong. And when you put all your eggs into one basket, that is what can happen, right? They didn't want to branch out and test out other influencers. Like I said, there are plenty of other Sally Mays out there who have the engagement, who have all of that. You know, they might not have the same type of name recognition that some of these influencers have, but are they going to bring you sales? Yes, they will. Are they going to, you know, bring you an audience who might be interested in your products? Yes, you will. But a lot of brands, not just Morphe. I mean, Morphe did it, you know, a lot more extreme than some other brands do. But a lot of brands, they don't want to, you know, invest in newer influencers who might even have better numbers engagement wise than the influencers that they want to hold on to, because those influencers have name recognition. They've been beauty influencers for like decades now, right? So they're like, okay, we know that you're so-and-so, so maybe people aren't messing with you as much as they did in the past, but you're still so-and-so. So we're gonna go with you over the person who has, you know, like a 17% engagement rate, the person who you never hear anything about them in like scandal wise, anything like that. They make that decision to go that way. But a lot of brands who are prospering are realizing we don't really need to just rely on the same faces. We can use this person, we can use that person, and our brand will still flourish as far as influencer marketing. And, you know, every year a new batch of influencers are born, right? A new batch of people are coming. So you're gonna have to get out there and experiment with new people. And if Morphe wants to make a comeback as that popular on-trend social media brand, that's what they have to do. They have to make a whole new batch of influencers that are gonna, you know, push their products, give them codes, make sure their products are in everyone's face. And you know where they need to do that? On TikTok, okay? You gotta crack into those classy, bougie, those little, you know, dancing TikTokers. That's who they need to do that. They've got the age range that's probably going to be interested in Morphe. They're on the app that is really popular, really trendy right now. Let's be honest, a lot of those people probably aren't going to know about the scandals and the other issues that you've had in the past. So that is where you need to go. Just start all over again, right? But the main thing here is like, please learn from the mistakes that you have made, okay? So although you need to make a whole new batch, make it correctly this time. Look into the people that you're using this time. And when you see signs that this may not be it for you, let it go. Find someone else, because I promise you there will always be someone else that you can use. Why are you... So that is it for this video. So do I think they can make a comeback? A comeback as a popular, you know, like social media brand where they once were, because even though they were popular, they were a trendy social media brand. It was never, you know, like holy grail type brand either, or like terrible, like no one's talking about it type brand. So it wasn't really like they have that far to go back to. So yeah, I can see them making a comeback to where they once were, because they, you know, they were just in the middle as like a cute little, you know, trendy, popular brand. They just need to focus their direction in a different direction with different people and learn from their mistakes, okay? Be wise with the choices that you make with the people who are going to put you on in a different way. Will they do that? Probably not, but you never know. But that is it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below about what you think about where Morphe was to where they are, where they could go in the future. Let me know all of that in the comments down below. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells, all of that down below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.